Great. Yeah, thanks a lot, Sue. My name is John Steindel. I'm a financial planning coordinator here at Central Penn College. We know that finances can be one of the areas that folks have a lot of questions about, and it might seem to be the biggest hurdle. That's why we're here to help. It's myself, and I have 6 co-workers here, full-time financial aid staff available to help you through your entire time here at Central Penn, before, during, and after as well, to help you navigate through all your questions and help get a plan together for you to cover your costs for school. So today I'm going to go over some basics. This is kind of a big picture look. What we do here for you, though, is we'll look into your situation individually. Everybody's circumstances are different, and there's different opportunities and possibilities for funding for everybody. So we'll help you individually and help come up with a personalized plan for you to cover the costs of school. So we'll get started here. And before I even begin, just wanted to help you consider what the value of a college education actually is. Everybody knows it can be expensive, but if you think about it, in life, there are many things that we spend a lot of money on. Well, it could be a nice meal, maybe a new television, or even a new car. Those things are nice, but immediately they begin to lose their value. They are some things that we can enjoy, but they begin to have less and less value to you as they depreciate as time goes by. Not so with the college education. If you see this chart, the more education you have, the higher income potential you have. The earning potential increases as you go through from high school up through even a master's degree and beyond. So it's an investment. It does cost, but the rewards more than make up for the initial cost if you work hard and take advantage of the opportunity. Not only that, we want to help you get into a career or continue your career, or if you're looking at something different that you enjoy as well. So the costs are something to consider as an investment for your future, the rest of your life, that you can see that it will bear fruit and benefits for you. So real quick overview, there's different types of financial aid I'm going to touch on here today. First of all, everyone wants to know about the free sources, and we want to help you with that first as well. We want to make sure you take advantage of any free funding that you might qualify for. So those typically are grants and scholarships. Now, even if you get the maximum of grants offered by the government, both the federal and state, it won't cover all of your costs. So there's other options as well, including the federal student loans. Other sources include employer tuition reimbursement. There are military funding for veterans and active duty members. There's other benefits through the state, and also a federal work-study program as well. So first we'll take a look at grants in a little more depth. The primary grants are through the federal government, and there's also a state grant. The federal government grant is called the Pell Grant. It's between $650 and a little over $6,300 a year. So it's not all or nothing. You could qualify for the maximum, or there's also a sliding scale, so you could get a little bit. Some folks don't qualify, but it's based on, for the current term that we're in now and upcoming, our next 2 terms, will be based on your household size and your income from 2018. Now, we know, especially with the pandemic, that some folks' income has changed since 2018, and if it is lower now than it was then, there is an appeal process that you could do to reconsider your eligibility. We'll be glad to help you through that if that's your case. There's also another government grant, federal grant called the SEOG grant, and that's some extra free funding that you might qualify for as well. The Pennsylvania state grant, some people call it the FIA grant, is also free funding. You have to be a Pennsylvania resident and maintain academic progress, but that can be additional funding up to a little over $1,300 per term as well. So those are the different sources of the grants, the free funding. Next up, also the federal government offers student loans. The student loans, they will not check your credit rating at all just by doing the application. As long as you're not in default on any prior student loans, you'll be eligible. There's a couple different types. There's subsidized and unsubsidized. The basic difference there is the subsidized portion, you would not be charged interest. Actually, the government will pay the interest for you while you're in school, and during the 6 months after you finish school, they call it a grace period. And then if you'd ever get what's called a deferment at any point to postpone payments on your loans, they would not charge you interest on that part of your student loans called the subsidized. The unsubsidized, they do charge interest. It would accrue while you're in school and during those other periods that I mentioned. Also, you do not have to make any payments on your federal student loans while you're taking classes, as long as you're going at least part-time, which is 2 classes here. You don't have to make any payments. And then you get that 6 months, as I mentioned, also a grace period after you graduate. They're giving you a chance to get settled in and start a new job after you finish classes. And after that, you would be set up on a monthly payment plan. You can make payments anytime you want, but no payments are required until starting 6 months after you finish school. You can see there are some limits there on a term-by-term basis and over a lifetime. Those are the kind of details that we can go over with you more when we meet with you and talk with you individually. There's also different kind of repayment options. They're very helpful. The federal student loans are much better than your typical car loan or home loan. There's options if you ever have difficulty making payments that they'll work with you to either even stop payments for a short time, or give you payments that are based on your current income. And there's different repayment plans available. So in that sense, they're very helpful, or a good loan. Again, you have to consider it as an investment. Nobody likes loans, but it's an investment for your lifetime. So to apply for the financial aid, the application is called the FAFSA. Now that stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. You can see the website there, fafsa.gov. It's the application for the federal and the state aid. So there's just one application you need to start out, the FAFSA. Be sure to do your FAFSA every year by May 1st. That's the state grant deadline. So actually the new FAFSA for the coming year is available to do, and the current FAFSA that you would need for the next couple of terms is available as well. So there's 2 of them out there that you can do right now. We'll be glad to help you with them and help with any questions you have about it. As long as you include our school code on your FAFSA, you can see it there on the screen, or you can look for us by name, but it's easier to put our code on there. We would get your FAFSA information from the government just within 2 or 3 days, and we could be in touch to let you know more about your eligibility and if there's any other documents that we might need. Also, scholarships are another source of free funding, and we definitely want to make sure you have a chance to look into those. We offer numerous scholarships, both to our incoming students, but also to our current active students as well. We have scholarships for those who are transferring in other credits from prior schools. We have some that just require a short essay that you might qualify for. And as I mentioned, once you start here, our active students have over 30 different scholarships that you can apply for twice a year as well. We'll help you with other scholarships. Also, there's a couple websites on the screen there that are you can use as a resource. We can get you some other details on those as well. A really good place to look starting out is any kind of organization or club that you might be part of. Maybe Rotary or Elks clubs or scouting or things like that, or even a church or religious organization. A lot of times they will have scholarships or help you with school costs if you inquire, if you ask. It's, like I said, a good place to start. Up next, wanted to touch on employer tuition reimbursement. This is a more and more common thing that employers do to help out their employees. They'll help pay for some of your tuition costs for your school, for your schooling. If you're not sure if you have that where you work, the best thing to do is check with your supervisor or human resources department. They should be able to let you know and get you more details about it. The requirements are always different and specific to each employer, but we do offer a potential option for you to defer payment until after you finish each term. Any student who wanted to make cash payment towards classes we would normally ask them to make at least a partial payment before they could be registered in classes. But if we know, if your employer verifies that they're going to make some payment for you, you would not have to pay for that out of your pocket. You could wait until you get the money from your employer, which usually isn't until after the term ends, and then pay us the funds. So it's just an option. Again, I know I'm covering things really quickly here. Just want to get it on your radar, just so you know about it. We'll be glad to help you with more details about employer tuition reimbursement. Also related to the employer tuition reimbursement is our Central Penn Partner Program, or Community Partner Program. What we do is partner with hundreds of local or even regional businesses and organizations, because we want to work together with them to help make your education experience here as fruitful as possible. So one of the things that you could potentially get are scholarships between $1,000 or $2,000 based on your employer's partnership level with Central Penn. You can see the website there and click on that for more details. We'll be glad to get you information that you can ask your supervisor or human resources if they would be interested. There's actually benefits for your employer or your organization as well that we offer to them, as well as potentially scholarship for you also. All right, also real quickly, we are glad to help our military benefits, or military service members and veterans to get the benefits that they earned through their service. That can include the GI Bill with post 9/11 GI Bill, vocational rehabilitation. Also, there's some benefits available to dependents of veterans. There's tuition assistance for active duty. For our National Guard members, there's the EAP award. We also offer a Military Appreciation Award to all those who have served. So we have a dedicated military benefits coordinator here on campus. His name is Dan Garissi, who is available to help with questions. I'm very familiar with that as well. I used to serve in that position here. So we'll be glad to help you navigate through that and make sure, as I said, you get the benefits you deserve as a veteran. There are some other funding sources that you could look into, such as vocational rehabilitation through the state of Pennsylvania, federal work-study program. There are some jobs on campus that you can potentially work in and earn. It kind of works like a regular job. The federal government pays part of your wages, as well as Central Penn pays a part. Pennsylvania through FIA offers other funding through special programs. You can see there on the screen. And as I mentioned, there are also, you can also certainly make cash payment directly to Central Penn for all or just a portion of your costs if you would like to do that. And then up next, just to talk real briefly, we want to help you find ways to reduce cost as well as finding funding. So as Sue mentioned earlier, we'll be glad to look over any previous college transcripts to see if you could transfer in any credits. It can save you time and money in finishing your degree here. She talked about the lifelong learning credits as well. There's some different options too. You can save on travel time and other expenses by doing online. Books, usually you can buy a used or rental copy to save some money. And we have other tips that we can go over with you as well to help reduce costs for your time here at Central Penn. Up next, to get started, as I mentioned, for the financial aid, the first step would be to complete the FAFSA, the free application. But we'll be glad to talk with you as well, because everybody's situation is different. And our goal is to help provide guidance through the entire process. There's no obligation to any of it. We don't charge you any fees or anything. What we want to do is help have a plan together. Sometimes we call it a package, to make sure that you have a plan in place to cover school costs. You have a chance to review it ahead of time to help you make your decision and your plan. So you'd want to submit the application, as Sue mentioned, for admissions here first, and then we'll be glad to help you as well through the financial aid process. And you might find that getting a degree is more affordable than you think. If you have any questions, my information is there on the phone. You can call or email anytime. I will be glad to help. And as I said, we have 6 other dedicated staff, financial aid staff here available to help you as well.